Hello and welcome to Kinetic Builds. We're back with another episode of Foundry, and today we're going to be solving our power problems. We have been running these burners here, and that's been working good up until recently. Here we're pushing up against the top end of our power generation, and rather than build more of these and use up what limited amounts of this ignium ore that we've got, I figured now would be the best time to check out our high voltage energy grid, which comes with the boilers and the steam turbines here. I'm not exactly sure how all of this is supposed to work, but if it's anything like Factorio, I think that we're going to build a boiler to heat up some water, and we're going to shove it in a steam turbine to generate electricity. Each one of these steam generators or steam turbines generates 5 megawatts, which is more than double the burners that we're using now. The burners are only giving us 2, and it's giving us a reason to use up some of this steel. All of these things require steel to be crafted. We're also going to need some of these transformers to convert it from high voltage to low voltage, as far as I understand. I did look quickly at the information database. That's where I found out what the transformers are for. However, there's no information in here, as far as I can tell, about these boilers, which is unfortunate. It seems like the kind of a mechanic that could use at least a little bit of explanation, but we're going to figure it out. I have done the research here while we were taking some screenshots and doing some different things. So I have high voltage, I have pumps, and we're going to go ahead and grab the tank. I don't know what we're going to use this for yet. We haven't done any storage of our materials as of yet, but we'll just keep the research moving while we're going here. I've upgraded all the assembler components in the base to tier 2 just to give us that little bit of extra oomph in our production capabilities. I was going to generate another one of these Science 2 making facilities because we are starting to burn through it, but we've still got enough to get the research done, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. In order to boil something with the power production here, I assume that's going to require water, and I think our closest water area is over here. So we're going to figure out how exactly we do this. I've built a few of the components, and it looks like I'm kind of out of parts, so we'll have to pick some more up. But we have some pipes here, which I think is going to transport the water. I have a pipe intake, which I'm guessing is where I'm going to be able to put this in the water to get the water out. I have a pump, which I think is going to be part of that whole process. Or do I have a pump, actually? I didn't build the pump yet, so we'll need some parts for that. And then I have the steam turbine, and I believe I've got a boiler up here as well. So that should be all of the parts necessary to get this all set up and working. We'll need a transformer eventually, but I'm not too worried about it. Let's go ahead and drag a couple of these parts down onto my bar so that we can see how big these are going to be. They look like they're ginormous. Not too bad, but pretty big. And if I just check, oh my goodness, the steam turbine is a bit bigger. Oh, and now it's going to give me an info page about them. Well, let's check that out real quick. Boilers and turbines can be used to create power more efficiently, but it requires a more complex setup. First, you need a pipe intake at a water source to draw on water. A second step, the water needs to be moved to the boiler, which will convert it to steam as soon as it is supplied with burnable items. Finally, the steam goes to the turbine, which generates high voltage power. Pretty straightforward here. I'm kind of curious if it's going to be like Factorio, where a boiler can support multiple turbines. We'll figure all of that out here shortly. It does look like they've got a self-sustaining setup here where it is in a chest and feeding into the boiler. That's an interesting way to do it. I might think about doing that just so I don't have to run everything over here. However, let's look at the map for a second. Our ignium ore supply is way over here. It might be easier to put our boilers north of the base, or even there's a lake over here. I wonder how that would work. Let's go over there, look at a little bit of a different terrain. I installed more railings on our base too. I kept falling off the side. It was getting rather annoying. And we're just going to keep this research cooking. We'll get the power poles for wall mounts. We don't have any walls in our base really, but you never know. We might play around with that a little bit. And if I just hop over this hill is going to cause a bit of a problem. I don't want to have to pipe that ignium all the way over a hill. Maybe I'll dig a path through the hill. This is a nice little secluded area. If we were to bring things through this, I might be able to set up a nice platform here. Let's see if we can do tunnels in this game. I haven't really played around with the terrain and building mechanics as much as the factory items. I do wish, the one thing I wish the devs would do is expand the distance at which the mining drill works. I could just use just a smidge further reach with it, and I feel like it would be better. Oh, we finally busted through here. Let's see where we've come out. Keep going here. I'm hoping I'm not like just completely below the ground level on the other side of this. Oh, we are kind of. Huh. I was hoping that that was not going to be so low. Well, that's all right. We'll still be able to bring this over here. I'm going to need one more level high so that once I put the belt down, we can walk on top of it. So I'm going to go ahead and get the mundane out of the way here first, and then we'll start piping that ore over there. So I think what we're going to do is actually bring this all the way down over here and split it. Let me think here. I can't put it in line. I have to actually destroy this first. Now, I probably don't actually need to split this. Well, we got our steel production still, I guess. Trying to figure out the best way to get this to actually split to my left. There we go. We've laid out some blocks to make our lives easier, and then I'm just gonna bring this straight over here. Where's my path? Right here. So we'll do this, and I'm gonna need to bring it down. So I need a slope downwards option. Oh, I'm one square too close. All right, hang on. It's always something, folks. There we go. 1, 2, 3. All right. And then I should be able to clickety drag. Just like so. All right, feeling good about this. Now, I think what I'm gonna do to make my life easy is we're just gonna build a platform right over the water like they did in their screenshot. Carve out this corner a little bit. I don't know how much space I actually need, but we're gonna do what we can. Something like this, and then let's get the boiler down first. The only thing we really need is to bring in the ore for the boiler right now. We're gonna make our design somewhat smart, hopefully. Oh, that's the steam. I think that's the steam coming out that side. So water in and then steam out. Okay, this is important. I need to be able to have the water on this side, and then the steam's gonna go out that side, I think. Input, output, water. Yeah, so this is water. I guess I've got water on both sides, and then steam on the back. All right, we've got it sorted out, folks. So I'm gonna put an input in my pipes down here. I'm gonna see if we can get this boiler to start working. I've got an arrow on this water intake. Trying to figure out the best place to put this, like right down here maybe. Hold right, I need it to go up. Oh, rotate x-axis. Here we go. And then I need a corner piece. And then I need a straight piece. Oh, it's got arrows both ways. I was really confused for a moment there. All right. So now I've got water. I don't know if I need a pump yet. No, it says I've got water. Good deal. So all I need is something to burn. I'm just gonna pick up a couple real quick and see what happens. Yep, that's gonna burn and create steam. Perfect. All right, now we need a steam turbine. So I'm gonna get some more platforms so that we can get those turbines going. And I'm gonna start some research up. It'll be great. And we'll get this up and moving, and then we'll have to figure out how to run those lines all the way back to our base at some point here as well. All kinds of things to do here, folks. We are back out at the lake. I've got concrete production going, and I am going to slap down the first of these turbines. I'm trying to make sure we line things up. I need at least one spot for the steam to come in, and oh wow, I did not get this big enough. I thought I had more than enough room, but clearly not. And we're a little tight over here. Maybe I'll try and see if I can squeeze one more line of walk path over here. Can't go much more because of where the pipe ends up. All right, here we go. I think we've got it. No grid connection. We'll figure that out in a minute. We might need some power to get it started. But first, let's see if I can put a pipe between these. I'm gonna hope that it's the same pipes. Any input, any type, any fuel of type turbine without residual. And I'm gonna put the transformer and power poles down here. And I'm just trying to think. I guess the transformer could go over here, maybe. And if I put, I don't know where the electrical connection is on this thing, but I'm gonna put a power pole somewhere right here. Power lines can be crafted after you equip them, and you can click on a connectable object to start a power line and click again on the desired endpoint. Okay. Oops. Am I missing? There must be an actual power lines. Oh, there's actually power lines that we need, not just the power poles. Sometimes it pays to read the help documentation every once in a while. I'm gonna move all these down so I've got enough room to give me power lines. There we go. Okay, click transformer small. Destination power pole small is too far away. Max range is 10 meters. Okay, I'm getting it. So then if I take it from here to there. All right, now I've got power to the transformer. We're creating 5 megawatts. I dig it. And then this is now online. We've got fuel, we've got output. Perfect. Let's figure this out. I need to get this piped into the boiler. It's not laid out in a convenient way. It doesn't matter that much, but I was kind of hoping to put my boiler 1 square to the left, and we didn't do that. It's gonna bug me. We'll just roll with it though for now. we do that, we have an unlimited supply of fuel now. I think this is going to work, folks. Let me grab the power lines. Object transformer small has reached its maximum amount of connections. Okay. So we're going to just run the power lines up and over our hill here. I'm doing so a little bit haphazardly because I want to start moving towards our base. There's no reason to go in a straight line, I suppose. Here we go. So I've got power coming. I need now one more of these transformers. I should be able to now run this to there. And now I've got 5 megawatts of power on the grid. Oh wow, this screen got really cool. So you can see the steam turbine is powering partially. I've got this transformer that's creating or generating some power, and these are the machines hooked up to it. Oh, I love this screen. It's got so much more detail than other versions of this that I've seen in other games. So I can see what's on each grid. That's really cool. Well, now we don't have to do these annoying bridges with the base to get power places. That was really kind of annoying. I think we're going to tear down these burner generators now because it feels like they're very inefficient by comparison. And that's going to give us a lot more room in this part of our base. Very nice. Well, that is very exciting. And now that we've got the power running, let's start the next research, and then we're going to go back and take a look at those boilers and such, and just figure out if there's any other ways to kind of set that up in the future. We've got a lot of these easy ones to research up here. So if we look at this, we're generating 3,000 liters per minute of steam. Which means that we could indeed set up to 6 of the turbines here. And I'm just curious, there is no output on the other side of the steam turbine, so we would have to lay those out a little bit better in order to be able to do that, which isn't a problem. I like the way Factorio did that, where you could just stack the machines next to each other and it would automatically feed the steam from one to the next. But if we do ever need to upgrade this, it's going to be super easy to just add in a few more of these with some pipes and such. In fact, as long as we're back here, I'm going to spend what building materials I have to just start widening this out. I think that I've got enough. If I move this over one, we could get 2 on here now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we've got enough space. I could get a second turbine out here if I wanted to. I don't know that we really need the power right now, but I'll probably do it just so that we don't have to monkey with it. I don't think there's any energy restrictions on these power poles. I think they'll pull as much power as they need. It's not like I might need to run multiple lines or something in the future. I was running back to get some resources to build the turbine. It looks like I actually have everything I need in my inventory, though. My bad. And then I think, just for completeness, I want to be able to space these out the same both ways. So, for example, if this comes out the middle, I'm going to leave a 1 wide gap between the 2 machines and give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to place the turbine, something like that. And here we go. We're gonna shut the grid down temporarily. There goes all our power. I'm gonna give myself a couple of spaces to set up pipes and stuff here. I think that's going to help out a lot. I wonder how far you can run a pipe before it starts to lose pressure. I'd imagine it's pretty far. And I'm hoping that teeing this is going to work out how I expect it to. I believe I read that the pipes are two-way. That's why there's two blue arrows here everywhere. So I think this should work out great. I can see the steam moving through the pipes now. I've got the window on the other side on this one. Actually, that's kind of cool, so I can see it from the side or from the top. And now I need to run these wires to a pole of some kind. It's blocked. Okay. Well, what if I just run it to there? And then I can run to here and then up to there. Oh, and our research is complete now that I'm done monkeying with stuff. And then I'm going to grab this one and put it up on that pole. All right, now we've got some massive energy grid here. I've got 2 steam turbines up here generating an absolute enormous amount of power. And then this transformer, maybe each transformer can only support 5 megawatts? I don't know. But it's saying I've got 5 megawatts available here, and that's fine with me. This loader is the only thing generating any power over here. I love it. Or consuming power, I should say. Yeah, well, we got that all set up. I like that. This is a cool system. It's working well for us. I like having the high and low voltage power. It kind of mixes things up. I'm kind of curious where things like the solar energy are going to fall into the mix on all of this. Let's go ahead and jump in here. We've got 2 more researches here, which are both on some building related things. And then I think I have a repeatable research for mining efficiency, which is kind of neat. Oh, and we've got the incinerator. Oh, and I forgot, we've got concrete now. Well, let's go in the building materials list here and see if I can figure out where/how to make concrete. I can make cement in a crusher with the mineral rocks. Get gravel from mineral rocks. I'm guessing that the cement has to be smelted. Oh no, concrete right here. Cement, gravel, and water in a casting machine. Well, casting machine is a new item. We'll have to build some of those. Let me get some more parts. I think I ran out of our rods, actually. So we'll get all those materials picked up real quick here, and we'll check out the concrete as well today. So in order to do concrete, we need to find this mineral rock, which appears to be over here. I'm kind of curious if the drones are going to be able to get down here to mine this. It looks like it's underground a ways. I'm not sure what the best way is to get down there. If I push 3, no mineable ore blocks in range. Okay. Well, let me at least get on top of this. I think I'm going to need to cut my way down here to the mineral rock. Should have brought a ladder. That's mineral rock. Okay. Yep, that's quite a ways down here. Well, let me carve out a little bit more room. I guess I could build some ladders. We did unlock the ladder recipe. Okay. Whew, that's annoying. Let me get rid of this block. Okay, down we go. Whoa! At least there's no falling damage. And then I am going to try and clear out enough of a space to mine this mineral rock. I do find it interesting that it's got kind of I'll call it a Minecraft element. I've got to go down underground here to get close enough so that I can actually mine this stuff out. I'm not sure how yet that I'm going to get this material out of this cave that we're mining in. We'll have to figure that out yet. I'm suspecting that there's going to be a way to move ore straight up and down at some point. We just don't have that at this stage. And I probably don't need to be quite all the way down here to do what I'm doing, but it was just the easiest thing to identify the ore. And there is a lot of it down here, folks. So I'm gonna give myself just a little bit more room. First things first, we need to place down the mining stuff. I'm gonna actually rotate this like so. And I think my plan is to run the stuff up and out of here, out the side. We'll use this area here between the water and where we're at to actually do our construction. So we'll expand this way slightly to get our loader out here. Like so, and then I'm going to need a little bit more space to move around the equipment, I suppose. And right here, we're just gonna start making our way up out of the area. I don't know exactly how this is gonna work. We might have to kind of go in a direction and then come back. So if I set this to go up, can I then immediately connect an output to it? I can. Okay, that's gonna work out well. My ceiling height in here needs to go up. I'm unable to jump over things and move around. A little bit of a hassle. Okay, we are finally out of there. Let's put one of these in here. And I think we can do the same here. And there to get out. Finally, woo, we're out. I'm just gonna immediately turn this back around since I don't want to go out over the water. Although over the water would make it easier to build platforms and such. I think here I'm just gonna smooth this out. We'll immediately put our base building blocks right here. What I should have done was run some base building like block down there so I could have power. We'll do that here. I think I've got an idea of an easy way to do that. So first off, let's get a platform started here. I don't know exactly how much room we're gonna need for all of this equipment, so we'll just do it like so. And then if I come back down here, yeah, we can definitely do something about getting power down here. And I think the easiest way to do that will be to... Oh, I thought I was in mass destruction mode. Take this ladder out, and I'm going to have, well, how do I want to do this? I'm gonna have the ladder come down somewhere slightly different. We'll have it come down right in this area. Okay, here's the plan. We're going to run our ladder up this, and that's going to let me have power come down here to the mine. So we kind of solve two problems at once. We get it to look all good, and we're gonna be set on power. And then our transformer can set up, oops, on the top. Okay, let's just double check. We've got the ore set up, we've got our low voltage grid, we can come all the way up here, and boom, we're gonna be good. Oh no! And then all I'm gonna do in addition to that is clean this out. We'll put the platforms right up here to what we've just built. Give me a little bit more room to build what we need to for our machines and hook up these power grids at the same time. I like it. All right, it didn't quite reach. We had to come up with this janky short pole. I suppose if I straightened this out a little bit better, it would work, but I didn't want to get in the way of our mining operations and stuff here. It's all right. The power poles are easy enough to assemble and run, and that should ideally get this whole grid started. Yep, and we can see we've got our materials already coming up the conveyor belt here. Awesome. Before we get started on building this though, and I should have done it when we're at the base, let me just get the research going. I'm hoping we can get all of our research done in today's episode too. We're so close. I think there's really only one thing left to research, which is these lights. There we go. And looking again at this concrete recipe, I need cement and gravel. So I need a crusher for gravel, and I'm gonna need a crusher and xenoferrite ore rubble for cement. That's gonna be interesting. I wish I'd paid more attention to that because I would have maybe run our output the other way. That's all right. I think that we can run this. This is the xenoferrite ore rubble. We can run this line out to where we need to be. But we're going to need a bunch of conveyor ones in order to do that, so let me go grab a stack of those. And I do think I'm going to just dig a path here rather than going up and over. So I'm going to need to immediately take these back down again. So bear with me a moment while we drill our way over to our production facility here. All right, we're gonna come out in a perfect spot right above our production facility. I like it. I am gonna take the third path off though, so I can walk on top of my conveyor belt once we slap that down, just to make life easier. And let's go ahead and get this run. Oh, these runs are a little bit longer than I anticipated. I'm gonna bring this all the way out here and we're gonna try, oops, I lost it. I'm gonna try and bring it in right behind the other kind of stone here. It's gonna be a little bit longer running it around like that, but I think in the grand scheme of things, I'm gonna be happier keeping my belts organized and on the same side. There we go. Start dropping things down. Okay, let's see here. If I drop this down here, and then drop that down there, I should be able to run this belt right over into this ramp, like so. And then I'll have both resources coming in. We can now, finally, after a lot of hassle, get the crusher running. I'm gonna put the crusher one off of that right here. And let me see now. Gonna have that go in. I'm gonna need some of these long ones too. And this was making the thing that needed both, which is the mineral rocks and the xenoferrite ore rubble, and then I can also make gravel. So let me make the cement first. How much is this gonna make? 10 per minute of cement. And this is all going into a casting machine to make concrete with the water. Okay, so I'm gonna need, let me just put down the gravel, or let me just change the recipe here to gravel and see what that's gonna do. 30 per minute of gravel. 10 per minute cement or 30 minute of gravel. 10 cement, 30 gravel. Yeah, I'm gonna be good if I just make one of each to start with. All right. Well, let's toss down this casting machine as well, so we can kind of figure out, whoa, how much space I'm gonna need for this. Quite a bit, it would seem. So we're gonna widen this out just a little bit. We bring that out like so. And we slap this down. I need enough to export onto a belt and then pull it back in. I think right there is gonna do it. Configure machine for concrete. Where's the water input on this thing? Is it over on the side that I just landlocked? I see. Oh, it's way up there. Okay, so I'm gonna need to bring the water in up there. Got it. I can do that, or on the other side, but that's less convenient. That's too close though. We're gonna need to run this over a little bit. How deep of water do you suppose we need for this? Probably not too deep. If we just slap one down, we can find out real quick. I hate that I can't. I have to like be able to look at the end of the pipe to put one on top of it. Let's get this built, and I just ran out of pipes. We need one more. All right. Boom. Okay, there we go. Water's flowing up, so having it just be one block into the water seems to be more than enough. Although it's only showing a 0.001 water, which seems a little bit concerning. But I'll worry about that when we get everything else set up. First, we're gonna get this going. I'm gonna put it all the way over here. And we're going to run our lines. I don't know. I don't need both of these materials, obviously, for both things. But since I don't know what we're gonna need in the big picture, we're gonna just run both of these out here. Make sure these are both set up as inputs. This is now making cement, and then we'll have this make gravel. This is going to export on this side. And if we were trying to run a much more involved facility, obviously we would set these things up with a little bit more care, but for today's purposes, we just want to see how it all works. So I'm just gonna slap this stuff down and we're gonna get it making. Okay, oh, this is an output, this is an output, this is an input. That way and this way. Okay, concrete's stacking up, gravel's stacking up, but we're not producing anything just yet. And I think it's because we don't have the water. So let's see if we can fix this. What happens if I drill underneath water? Do I get more water? Is this like Minecraft? I think that's all water down there. All right, let's see if that gives us water. I'm worried that because I'm having to go up, I'm gonna need a pump. I thought I built a pump. Apparently not. Let's build a pump. Our inventory is about full, so. Pumps cannot go up and down. Low voltage or high voltage? Ooh, I can directly do a high voltage pump. Oh, sweet. And then I can do HT. Yeah, just like that. Okay. Let me break these down. Let's put it like that. And let's take this up to somewhere. All right, pump is green. We're still not seeing water. Oh no, there's a hole that I fell through. How did I fall through the world? Oh, I'm all wrong. This is where the water is. What is this? This has just got a big X on it for nothing. Well, that's really annoying. I don't want to have to face this the other way. I wanted my not enough space in inventory. What? I don't need all these stacks of dirt. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Figure for concrete. Now I've got water going in. I like it. We probably didn't actually need that pump, but it was kind of fun to play around with it. Kind of cool that the high voltage version can be placed up and down and you can hook wires up to it and such. I like that. And now I've got concrete. Let's see what that's all about. Walk speed 120%. We fell in the water. I suppose this can make sidewalks or something out of it. Where am I going to put it? Let's do a test. Right out here. Yeah, we need more to do a proper test. 1 second. We're definitely keeping up on the input side here. It's just a slow machine in general, so I'm not too terribly worried about the fact that we didn't build this to be more expandable. I suppose if we were getting into building a giant base, we would want to really speed up that construction. I'm sure concrete's going to be used for other things as well. But for us today, the pretty much only use I've got for it is to build a sidewalk right here and test out our speed. And I can already tell just based on how this is working. So this is my normal run speed here. Not that fast. But then if we get up on here, there's definitely an improvement. That feels like 20% to me. So let me get the research looked at here. We've got everything now except for the incinerator unlocked. We'll go ahead and unlock that, and then we'll do a few rounds of the mining efficiency testing here. I think this is just going to make the miners go faster, which honestly has not been a problem. We're backed up on ore here, and this is our iron plate manufacturing, so we're really doing well on this. These are backed up. Most of our iron plate manufacturing is currently backed up because we're just not consuming enough of it. We've got Science Pack 1s are backed up in 2 of the 3 machines. We're almost maxed out here. And I can see the Science Pack 2s wrapping around the corner here. Those are both almost capping out. They're 50% now. Which is, it's good. It's because we're not using them without having more advanced sciences to make. I'm feeling pretty good about how fast we've managed to progress in the demo here. The one other thing that we made but didn't get a chance to play around with is the wall-mounted power pole. So we can slap one of those down, and I'm positive this is going to work just like the other power pole stuff we've got. Although it looks like this is trying to go to another wall-mounted power pole, but you could target maybe a normal power pole. Let me put one of those down and let's just see how this works. If I had a normal power pole, could I go from a wall mount to a normal? I can. Perfect. See, this stuff is just cool. It's got a lot of the different Satisfactory vibes with their power system is kind of what I'm picking up with how all of that's working. I like it a lot. Man, I'm excited. We got so much done today. I guess one other thing that I didn't end up using yet is the logistic storage containers. So we're going to toss one of those down here just out of the fun of it, see how this works out. And I suppose I can split with the double speed splitter. I'm going to put a splitter right here. So this will essentially move half of my stuff into storage. I could control the speed with a tier 1 belt if I wanted to, but I like the idea of this. Oh no, I'm not thinking of this correctly. I don't actually need a splitter at all. We are gonna put that like so, and then I'm gonna move this building. We'll put it right here, and then I'm just gonna put a loader in. Now, ideally, I would probably want to have this thing set up as a buffer, because this is going to take in everything until it gets full, I'm pretty sure. If we look at the F1 help menu, now that I've built one, I get a help menu for it. It says you may be used to store items, different inventory slot size by their option to be automated by connecting a loader. Information about both can be found at the tooltip, blah, 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 blah. So not a lot of information there, but as you can see, I'm inputting all of the stuff coming down this line into here. And then what we can do is, as silly as this sounds, I can immediately export them right back out onto the belt. And what'll happen is I'll keep my supply chain maxed out here, but I will be able to keep the smelters moving and build up a buffer of these plates. And then eventually when my ore runs out, I'll have a nice stockpile while I can go and find another ore vein and get everything set back up. So it does kind of work out for us in that this is going to act as a buffer now, because like I said before, we were at a point where all of these are full now and we're not even using them. They're just using up power. We're not getting any value for them. But you can see now we're starting to empty each of these along the way, and we're slowly going to drain all of our smelter capacity back out and get that put into the storage container here. The one thing I was about to say is I wish I could interact with this directly, but I can, which is pretty cool. And it looks like I can number the storage containers. I don't know what the numbers are for. Oh, it lets me limit how many slots you have, which is pretty cool. I can prevent the machine loader from putting anything into those slots, so if I don't want it to hold the full amount, we don't have to. That's pretty slick. And then we just finished the incinerator research, which leaves me only with mining efficiency. And I think I can do this multiple times. Every level I get is going to increase the efficiency of the miners. It's a pretty slow upgrade because it's one of those repeatable ones. And let's see here, the last thing I need is the incinerator, which actually requires concrete of all things. Well, we've got some concrete right here, I suppose. If I grab this, that didn't work. Oh, you actually have to mine it back up. That's fascinating. I probably could just go get some more out of the machine faster than this, but we're here, we're doing it. Now, I suspect this is going to be one of those machines that I can just feed resources I don't need anymore into this, and the machine will destroy any inserted item. Requires 3 seconds per item. That's going to take a minute, so if I put a stack of dirt in here as an example, it's just going to sit here and dissolve dirt. That can be useful for machines that have some kind of a byproduct that you don't want, I suppose. I can't see ever actually doing that with crafted materials. And as you can see, we're 960 plates and climbing here. The buffer is still trying to empty out of this one. I don't know if we're going to get to a point where we're making a meaningful dent in these last few, because as each additional smelter comes on, it's just going to keep that belt full at all times. But we'll see, maybe eventually. However, this does officially bring us to the end of the demo, I believe. We have built every machine, we've done all the research, really, other than, you know, there's other logistics machines for storing water or steam or what have you. Don't feel like we really need to build those. There's a few cosmetic items, but yeah, we've really knocked out everything in the demo here. I really enjoyed our short playthrough of this demo, and I can't wait to see this game get released. I think it's probably going to come out to early access like a lot of games do these days, but the tech tree on the research here, this stuff looks interesting. There's jetpacks, there's all kinds of more advanced things. I can't wait. This is going to be really exciting. So look forward to seeing more of this game at some point in the future once it releases. But for now, I think this is going to wrap up the series. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, helps me out a lot. And make sure to go and wishlist this on Steam, helps the developers out a lot as well. That's all for today. Keterk out.